Hi guys, it's Tiffany. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about best setting powders for dry skin. So I have dry skin, sometimes combo, it really just depends, but I mainly look for powders that are really good with dry skin because I find that it works really well even if I have combo skin. Also, my under eyes are very dry. I'm always looking for a powder that is very compatible with dry skin. It's very important to me to find a powder that won't make my skin look dry, won't make it look kind of crusty, you know, nobody likes that. So yeah, if you have dry skin, keep on watching. And yeah, nothing too crazy today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell to join my little family. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I have a few drugstore options and some are high-end as well, so there's a little bit of everything. So starting off with the drugstore, I'm going to start off with my favorite drugstore powder. This is a loose setting powder. It is the Milani Make It Last setting powder. I am the shade 01 Translucent. What's sad to me is I think Milani might have actually discontinued with this and they came out with a Make It Last compact version. I haven't tried that yet, but I really want to because I really liked the loose version a lot. This powder to me was just amazing because it really ensured the longevity of my makeup because it is a part of their Make It Last line. But it also doesn't dry out my skin, it doesn't emphasize any dryness, it doesn't emphasize the lines underneath my eyes, and it also just makes me look very natural but also blurring. So I really like this because it's not a very heavy duty powder, but it is a loose setting powder. It's really hard to come across a loose setting powder that isn't very cakey. So this is a great drugstore option if you really want to set your makeup and you have dry skin. The second one is a compact powder and it is the number 7 Lift and Luminate Triple Action Finishing Powder. I am in the shade Light. So this is my dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. But I think honestly the number 7 one suits dry skin a little bit more because I've said this in the past, but this one in comparison to the Charlotte Tilbury one is a little bit more natural and a little bit more lightweight. It looks a little bit less noticeable on your skin. The Charlotte Tilbury one is great. It'll mattify you, it'll set your makeup, make it last very long, but it does sometimes look a little cakey if you apply too much, whereas this one I find that I don't ever look cakey no matter how much I apply. So I really love how natural this one makes me with all of the great aspects of, you know, setting my makeup, getting rid of any shine, blurring, smoothing, very flawless, doesn't emphasize any dryness. So this is a really nice drugstore powder in a compact version for if you have dry skin and you really want to set your makeup. So I love this powder. So those are my drugstore options, but this one's kind of an in-between where it's not really drugstore, it's not really high-end, it's kind of right in the middle. It is the Beauty Bakerie Pinch of Flower Setting Powder. I have the shade Cassava, which is like a slightly yellow tint, and this is the bite size, but it literally looks like a regular size, like it's not small in any way. Just the Milani one in comparison, it's literally a normal sized compact. Can't imagine how big the original one is. I've never seen it, but I got this at Target on sale for $8. I believe Ulta also sells it, so you guys can check in your local Ultas or online. But oh my god, this powder is so beautiful. I'm actually wearing it today and I am in love with it. If you want a very nice blurring, smoothing powder that will literally erase your pores, this is a powder to get. I have really big pores on my forehead, and today when I was applying this powder, I applied it with a damp sponge, and when I applied it onto my forehead, literally where I applied it, my pores just completely disappeared. I was kind of shook because I already knew how great this powder was, but seeing that like really in action and like seeing the difference just really made me fall in love with it even more today. So yeah, this is probably my number 1 loose setting powder at the moment. It's that freaking good. So even though it is very blurring, very softening, very mattifying, it doesn't cause any dryness, it doesn't like crease up, it doesn't look cakey, and like I said, that's very rare to find when it comes to loose setting powders. So I love this for all over this face, I love this for under my eyes. You can't really go wrong with this powder. Amazing for dry skin. I feel like it would be amazing for any type of skin really. So I recommend this to just anybody. I feel like it is very underrated, so I love this. Alright, so moving on to my high-end powders. I'm going to start with the only loose powder I have to talk about. It is the Glossier Wowder. I am in the shade G11, G12, which is their lightest shade. And so again, we kind of see like a pattern here. This is a loose setting powder that isn't cakey, isn't heavy, which that's again really hard to come by. I love this powder because it is so friendly to dry skin. When you apply it, it looks so lightweight, so smooth. It doesn't even really look like you're wearing powder, but your makeup looks set. So I think that's a very key factor if you have dry skin, is to not see like your makeup actually set with powder, because when you have dry skin, sometimes the powder tends to cling onto your dry patches or just emphasize any crusty parts of your skin that are very dry. So the fact that this is almost like an invisible powder will be very beneficial to if you have those issues. This won't really mattify you because Glossier, they kind of like that dewy look, but it will set your makeup and it just feels very lightweight. It's almost like a very hydrating powder, if that makes any sense. But mainly the people that I recommend this powder to is for my natural makeup wearers or people who are starting to get into powder and you know, you've never really played around with loose powders because you've been scared with them. I think the Glossier Wowder is a great place to start because it is very lightweight. Even though it is a loose powder, it doesn't look like powder, so really great option. So the next powder is the Kosas Cloud Set. This is in the shade Comfy. I love this powder so much. This is probably the most dry skin friendly powder out of all the powders I'm mentioning today because this will set your makeup, but it won't look like you're wearing anything. This is probably the most invisible. It seems kind of pointless because I'm saying like, oh, what's the point of using this powder then if it looks like you have absolutely nothing on your face? It's because it still sets your makeup, it still blurs your skin without seeing vivid powder on your face, if that makes any sense. I don't know how Kosas did it. This is such an amazing powder. It's weird to me that I can set my makeup with this and have my skin look very blurred and soft without seeing actual powder, if that makes any sense. So yeah, this is very dry skin friendly. It is not drying, not cakey, very lightweight, pretty much invisible. I like to compare the Glossier Wowder and the Kosas one together a lot because I like to say that the Glossier Wowder is a loose version of the Kosas Cloud Set because they do have such similar characteristics. They are just so lightweight, pretty much invisible, won't really mattify you, but they'll blur your skin and just really dry skin friendly. So love these. So the last powder I'm going to talk about is a little bit pricier, is a luxury powder. So if you're willing to splurge, the powder I recommend for dry skin is the Dior Backstage Face and Body powder. This says powder to no powder because this pretty much does the same thing where it just lightly sets your makeup and it also leaves you with like a really slight radiance, which I love. It just gives your skin a very nice sheen, a very nice set, very simple. This one is similar to the Kosas Cloud Set, but I don't think it's as invisible and as blurring, but this will set your makeup and just leave your skin kind of looking very radiant. It is a very hard pan, so people don't really like that because I think it is really compressed in here, so that is one of the downfalls. You kind of struggle getting product out of here because it's panned in so hard, but I don't seem to have that much of a trouble with it. This is definitely a more light-weighted powder. You don't want to use this if you are looking for a heavy-duty powder. I would suggest a loose version, definitely not a hard compact version. So this is definitely more for natural makeup wearers or people who just want to set their makeup very lightly because you have dry skin. So I love this Dior powder. It is so beautiful. So that is the video for best powders for dry skin. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if you have tried any of these powders and what are your thoughts on them, or any more powders that are great for dry skin that I would love to try out. Leave them down in the comments. And yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one.